Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Innovation Podcast, your source for all things innovation. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at Ask Adam Torres to keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Alexey Semeney on the line, and he's CEO over at devteam.space. Alexey, welcome to the show.
Hi, Adam. Thanks for having me here.
So I'm excited to get into today's topic, so how companies can advance through online product innovations. But before we get into that topic, let's start off with telling us a little bit more about what you're doing over at devteam.space, please.
Sure. So at DevTeam Space, we help companies to build different types of online products by assigning the relevant development teams to their projects and helping them to effortlessly manage those development teams. And we do that by using our proprietary set of processes and tools. So our clients, who are mostly non-technical people or semi-technical people, can easily avoid pitfalls and successfully bring their project from start to the finish line.
What are the, so a lot of business owners, a lot of entrepreneurs listening right now, what are the right types of clients that are typically the right fit to work with DevTeam Space?
Well, that is a great question. And over the course of almost 4 years, we've been working with companies of all shapes and sizes, from early stage startups all the way to the companies of size of Airbus and Samsung and some $1 billion startup from Silicon Valley. So it really, the process is always the same. It just, the question is in scale. And thanks to our processes, we can keep it very tight, or if the project scales, we can easily scale the operations and the team. So we pretty much welcome any given company who has a particular need in building the product. However, I should definitely point out that pretty much all of our clients are the clients who are already at the stage when they are ready to jump into the product development phase. And that means they already completed the product ideation, market research, project specification phases, and they are ready to get started.
I think that's a great transition to our topic, how companies can advance through online product innovation. So where do you want to start with that one?
Yeah, well, I think this is the ultimate topic for pretty much any given business or startup in today's world, because maybe 10 or 20 years ago, you could say there is this sector of tech innovation companies out there. These days, every single company is a tech company, and every single company has to have some sort of online product. It could be a simple website for lead generation, or for communicating with your audience or customers, or it could be a complex SaaS solution or augmented reality application or something more advanced, right? But it definitely should be a part of every single business to pretty much have an innovative product in whatever the shape they can afford or can include it into their business strategy. And why it's important, it's not just because we're all heading towards the software world, penetrating all the aspects of our lives and seeing the automation everywhere. It's important because any successful business is only about two things. It's just about having a great product, and it's about having a great marketing. And you can obviously invest a lot of resources in a great marketing effort and like build the greatest marketing campaigns out there.
Mm-hmm.
But if your product is not innovative enough, is not exciting enough, then no matter how much money you spend for the marketing, it won't fly. And
Mm-hmm.
we have amazing examples out there. Like take a look at Tesla. All the big companies, automotive companies, were trying to pretty much take a stake out of their business and gain the share in the electrified automobile market for quite a long time now. Yet still almost none of the companies is close enough in terms of providing similar quality product at the same price point. And
Yeah.
you could say that, well, wait a minute, how about Porsche and Volkswagen and some other automotive groups? Yes, they actually spend a lot of marketing dollars, but if you take a look
Mm-hmm.
at the statistics and the market share, Tesla is just crashing everybody, and they spend very little money on marketing. They invest in product innovation and both on hardware and software. So that's the reason why they can be ahead of the market and be ahead of their competition so much. And I think that that is a great example. And you could recall several others like Apple, especially in the early days. And there are some other companies, but I think it doesn't make sense to mention all of them.
Yeah. And one of the things that I like about when you say online and innovation is that I think sometimes some of your more traditional, let's say traditional businesses like your lawyers or your financial advisor, things like that, they think, I'm not really in the space to innovate online. And I always tell people I completely have to argue against that because I see what many people are doing. So when people think of online products, sometimes they think, or innovating online, they think they have to have like a physical like product, as in like a consumer packaged goods or something, CPG or something like that, or an app or something else. But it's like there's just so many other things you can do online. And the reason why I've always found it really important is because it's a great way to scale. Could you talk a little bit more on what it looks like scaling and why how online works with that? Because that's always been the sweet spot for me.
Definitely. I think this is one of the most important topics to at least put on a table for the discussion at any given business these days. Um, to let's discuss, I would say, low-hanging fruits for any given business. So I would say that one of the innovative approaches in today's world is to scale your business with the help of building a SaaS service, which is
Mm-hmm.
software as a service business model where you have a subscription-based business and you provide certain services, sometimes very simple. For example, generate reports or fetch certain data through the APIs from some databases, which is quite a good direction for healthcare industry or even legal industry. And the other approach is to launch the educational course, right? And to start sharing
Mm-hmm.
your expertise if in case you have a consulting business, not fully substituting your business, but I would say launching is like a scalable version of your product in
Mm-hmm.
a more packaged format. So your audience who is not capable in one way or another hire you for your services, they can actually utilize your educational courses and gain some value from there. So I would say those are low-hanging fruits. And as far as the more serious solutions, we can recall the example of LegalZoom, right? So it's a
That's a
company.
great example.
Yeah, this is company that pretty much, uh, I would say, in a sense, they revolutionized the legal services because what they've done,
Absolutely.
yeah, they boiled down the math behind the legal services cost and the availability of different tier of legal specialists, and they organized it and supplemented with the additional tools and templates, which didn't substitute the actual human being interaction with the specialist, but enhanced it. And this way, they been able to cut lots of corners, bring down the cost, and scale to tremendous size. And this is definitely one of the serious examples for many businesses out there, because I think there are quite a lot of opportunities for any given industry, if we're speaking food, healthcare, um, any high tech or production related businesses. So all of this definitely makes a lot of sense. And I would say it simply takes an effort from the management group at these businesses to discuss the possible solutions on how they could innovate and bring to the table for their customers a new version of their business products, or consumer products in that sense, what they could offer them in the form of the software through the either web-based application or a mobile app.
I love it, and I always like looking at the word, and I agree with you completely. I always like looking at the word scaling from the other side of it, and just to kind of take it to the fundamentals. So essentially, when people are thinking scaling, a lot of times they're thinking about their business and how they make more money, what they can do there. But to me, it's like your example of the online course. If you're a consultant and you charge $10,000 to work for X amount of hours, and somebody can't afford the $10,000, let's just say, or it's not in their budget or whatever. Then guess what? They can't benefit from your knowledge. But that same person, if there was an online course or something else that was, $1,000, maybe they can afford that. So now they get the benefit of at least some of your knowledge and what they can learn on their own, and they're going to do their own work too, obviously, to make that happen. But what you're doing is you're providing more value to more people. So you're just trying to help more people and trying to exchange more value to help them. So that's why when I see online, I'm like, it's just providing us a way to provide more value to more people. LegalZoom, by them disrupting the industry, a lot more people were able to afford legal help that would not have before, and they would have just been out of luck, is what it comes down to. Because they would have still had their same budgets, they would have still had their same constraints, but by LegalZoom and their founders thinking about how can they provide more value to more people, I mean, look what happens. They disrupted an entire industry.
Exactly. And again, you're totally correct in terms of scaling, that it's pretty much like figuring out the way how you can help and deliver value to more people. And ideally to bring down the cost of your services. And it could be either in this format, or it could be in the form of, again, a SaaS solution that helps you to complete maybe not all the 100% of your work, but just 70%. But if the cost is 10 times lower than that, and you can chip in and do some part of yourself by yourself or with the help of an assistant, still it's tremendous value. And definitely the possibilities are endless in terms of the all sorts of different industries. And also I think that it's very important that many entrepreneurs and business executives who are listening to this podcast, it's very important to know that it's not about like being in, let's say, Silicon Valley or Los Angeles, Santa Monica, or like in Boston or somewhere in these tech hubs. In order to launch a successful online business or to scale your current business with more advanced online solutions, it's really about just putting together a plan or going about this effort consciously and just deciding that, yes, we're going to go this route, or yes, we're going to scale our current online product, which is maybe is not not scalable due to certain limitations. We'll figure out the way, or we'll find the consultants and contractors who will be able to help us to scale the product. Because again, 10, 20 years ago, that was really about the location and the talent you would be able to tap into, like that you would need to be in Silicon Valley, raise ridiculous amount of money, etc. With the current economy, with the current way of how the internet has developed over the past 10, 20 years, it is possible for any company located at pretty much any place in the world to fetch the resources in order to build this solution for their business, either from scratch or to enhance their current solution and bring it up to scale and offer different tiers of the product. It's absolutely possible these days, and we see a lot of amazing companies popping up pretty much all across the globe. We've worked with tech companies from Middle East, from Asian region, from Eastern Europe, obviously Canada and United States. But I would say it's great to see that it's not really limited to that geographic locations, and you really see quality products and quality approaches of the either startup founders or the executives at the companies when it comes to building and scaling the products from all these different regions. So it's definitely a great time to get on this train if you are not there yet.
That's awesome. I love it. And that excites me, Alexey, because I'm like, because we all benefit, humanity benefits. I mean, we all benefit with innovation being democratized in terms of the resources. Now that you don't have to be at Silicon Valley or have to do this, have to do that, innovate, the pace of innovation, it has the opportunity to just increase, and that becomes exciting to see what happens in our lifetimes. So, Alexey, I could talk to you about this all day, but we're about out of time. If somebody's listening and they want more information on devteam.space, what's the best way for them to reach out?
Sure. So, well, they could definitely simply visit our website, which is devteam.space, exactly. And submit their project request or reach out to us via email. They can find the contact information on our website about page as well. And we'll be happy to discuss whatever the questions or requests they might have, and hopefully we'll be able to help them to scale their business, which is pretty much what we do all day long, day in, day out.
Man, that's awesome. Well, hey, Alexey, been awesome talking to you today and having you on the show. Really appreciate you taking time out to share your knowledge and info with our audience and to all the listeners. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. Leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store. If you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Innovation, definitely give us a subscribe there, but leave us some comments on the video. Love to hear your thought process and what you thought and what kind of projects you're working on. And Alexey, thanks again for coming on the show.